Hello, today I'm going to be showing you how to create a quiz using Edmodo. What you're looking at right now is the home screen when you log into Edmodo. What you're going to want to do is go to the middle of your screen where you see tabs for notes, assignments, quizzes, polls, and snapshot. You're going to want to click the quiz button. From here, you can either create a new quiz or load a quiz that you've previously created from a collection. Today, I'm going to show you how to create a new one. Once you are here, you have the option to name your quiz, set a time limit, and then add your first questions. So I recommend that you first go up and give your quiz a unique name. Once you've named your quiz, if you want to set a time limit, you may do that. I'm going to set a 30-minute time limit for this one. And then you can either add your first question or you can load previously made questions. You have 5 types of questions to choose from on Edmodo. You have multiple choice, true, false, short answer, fill in the blank, and matching questions. The system will automatically grade multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank, and matching questions for you. If you do decide to use short answer questions, you'll have to manually go in and grade those yourself. So let's go ahead and get started. We have a button right in the middle here that says add your first question. So I want you to go ahead, we're going to click that. Once you've hit that, this is your quiz creation screen. On the left-hand side, you will see the questions. We have a plus button to add additional questions or load questions. And in the middle is where the question that we're currently looking at is. So right now we're at question 1. We have a top box for a question prompt and answer choices down below. At the top, you'll see the question type that you selected. You can change it to whatever you would like to use. So I'm going to go to multiple choice for this one, and you can also set the amount of points you'd like the question to be worth. Once you're ready, you have the question type you'd like, you're ready to start putting in your prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and put a question prompt in, and then we'll take a look at some answers. So we have our question prompt in. Next, you would want to go down to your responses section. It defaults you to 2 different responses, and it defaults A to your correct answer. If you would like to add additional choices for students, you can hit the add response button. You can see when I did that, it gave us a choice C. So once we're ready, we can start putting in the responses. I'm going to leave it at 3 choices here. Once you have your choices in, you need to select the one that you have as your correct answer. This is the one Edmodo will use to give students credit or tell them that they were incorrect. So for this, we should have the associative property selected. To change our box, we need to go to the blue words that say set as correct answer. When we click that, it will make that the new correct answer choice. So that would be question 1. You'd now be ready to create a new one. To create a new question, you want to hit the plus button under the question section. When you hit that, you see you now have 2 questions on the side. Again, we can choose what type of question we'd like for this one, just so you can kind of see some different examples. I'm going to change it to a true and false question, and we'll leave it worth 1 point. For my prompt, I'm going to type in what I want students to see. And when I'm setting the correct answer, you see it's a little bit different here. I have a drop-down box at the bottom. I can choose true or false. So for this one, it is a true, so I'm going to set the answer to true. I'm ready for question 3. So now you're going to want to hit the plus button again, and we're going to change it to a short answer. For this one, we're going to type in the prompt, but you're going to notice that there is no area for us to put a correct answer. This is the one I had mentioned earlier. You will have to go in and grade it yourself once you're all finished. So we'll go ahead and type in our question prompt, and I'll show you what we're going to do after that. Okay, once you have your question typed in for students, again, you can choose how many points you'd like it to be worth. I'm going to set this one to a 2-point question. Get 1 point for having the correct answer if he is correct or not, and then another point for if they're able to justify which property says so. For that is all we can do at this point. We'll have to go back and grade it later. We're ready to add our next question, which will be a fill in the blank. For our fill in the blank question, again, we could change the amount of points if we want to. We can go ahead. Our question prompt box gives us a hint. It says use an underscore to specify where you would like to place or where you would like a blank to appear in the text below. So that's if we hold our shift key, it's the button that's usually right next to your 0. That's where we're going to find the underscore we want to use. And once you're ready, you can start type your response. As I type, if you watch down in this area here, you're going to see what we're typing up top begins to appear, and you'll see how the box will show up for us. And here I'm going to put in my underscore. When I add the underscore, you see the box appears down here to where students can type in the response. To set the correct choice here, it tells us the quiz takers will have to answer in the exact order for questions to be marked as correct. That is because I could continue to type and say that the grouping property is also known as. So if you notice there, it adds a second box for us as well. If we do that, we want to type in our correct choices. We have commutative up top, associative down below. And then we're ready to go ahead and add in our final question. If you would like to load a question, I'm going to show you what you can do. Right now I haven't typed anything in for question 5, so I'm going to remove this question using the remove question button. And if you have questions that are previously made that work for this quiz, you can hit the load button. And the only type that I haven't shown you yet is the matching. So I want to look for a matching question that I have created previously. As I scroll, you'll see in gray letters it tells us the question type, and the blue part up top shows us the actual question. So here I found one that is a matching that has to do with my properties of addition. I'm going to click the load this question button. You can see this is the question I had made prior to starting this. Your instructions show up top. This will automatically be there for you. It says match each letter with the correct answer. And at the bottom, this is where you're going to put in your choices. On the left-hand side, these will stay fixed in the place that they are. On the right-hand side is where you're going to type in the different responses. It'll be randomized once the students take the test. When you're entering them here, you want to make sure that A matches up with number 1, that B goes with number 2, C goes with number 3. And if you wanted to add additional choices, you can hit the add button at the bottom. You see it now gives us a D. If you did that on accident and you do not want to keep it, all you need to do is find the red text that says remove answer. We can click that and we're right back to where we started. So at this point, if you're happy with the questions you have in, you can either finish your quiz by using the done button, or you can preview it, which will actually allow you to take it as if you were a student. So I'm going to just preview to show you that feature. If we preview our quiz, we can start it, and this is what a student would see when they go in to take it. I'm going to answer some of these correctly and some of them incorrectly so you can see how the system grades them automatically. So here we needed our multiple choice. This should be our associative property, but we're going to select identity so you can see what happens if we get one wrong. A true false, you have the 2 boxes to choose. This was our short answer. So for this one, it doesn't matter what I type in right now. I'm not going to get feedback on it because the teacher would need to go in and self-grade it. Okay, so we have our answer in for that one. Can move to number 4. They're going to type their responses into the boxes. And for number 5, they're going to need to click and drag their choices around to go where they think they belong. So again, I'm going to leave some of these as incorrect so we can see how the system grades them. If you look here, you can see the timer is running. It tells the student how much time they have left out of the initial timer. If you remember earlier, we set this one as a 30-minute timer. It'll tell the student how many questions they've completed. They can submit the quiz once they're ready. And it gives them the option to view the results. So right away, they get instant feedback on your Edmodo quizzes. For number 1, we had picked the improper answer, so it shows them that they should have had B, the associative property, shows what they picked as well. You notice the short answer says it's not graded yet because the teacher needs to go in and do that. And for number 5, they can see they got partial credit because they had 1 correct and 2 incorrect. So their overall score right now is 4 out of 9 without that 1 being graded. If you're happy with the way your quiz looks, we can end our preview. You can either print your quiz as a paper pencil quiz, which I would recommend doing just in case anything were to go wrong with your internet connections. And once you're ready, you can hit the Done button. We have a few steps left and we'll be ready to go. We need to set a due date for our quiz, so I'm going to set mine for next Friday, so that'll be Friday, November 6th. I want to add it to my grade book so that way the scores they get added in. And here, the Send To decides what groups I need to send it to. If you don't have any subgroups created, you can just use the All of My Groups button. But if you're somebody that has multiple classes already created in Edmodo, you can look for the specific class that you want. I have a subgroup created for a math class, and since this is a math test, I'm going to send this one just to the students that are part of my math class. If I only wanted to assign it to some students, I could start typing in those students' names. You can see here I have some students in as test student. If I only wanted this student to take the quiz, I could assign it to just that student as well. But again, I'm going to assign this one to my whole math class. I can hit send. At that point, your quiz is created. Students are ready to take it. Congratulations, you just learned how to create a quiz in Edmodo.